Inside the lower half of your bandsaw you should find a brush of some sort rubbing against the bare wheel tyre to try and remove as much of the sawdust as possible before it sticks onto the wheels. They're adjustable and you should adjust the tension in that so that it does as good a job as you can of removing that wood dust. They don't work that well, and as you can see there is a build up here, and that needs to be scraped off. I usually use the back of a blade or a dull card scraper, and that seems to do the job without tearing into the rubber at all. Most bandsaws will have some sort of dust extraction on them. This has only got a small port down at the bottom here, and it's not very effective, but it's certainly worth using. You should be able to adjust the tension on the drive belt of your bandsaw. Your manual will give you some instructions on that and on the tension that you should have in there. Don't over tension, because if you're in a cut and the blade just can't cope, it's far better if your belt slips rather than stalling the motor. If you use your bandsaw for anything of a length greater than about 2 feet, it's probably worth investing in some sort of support, like this roller support. It will take the weight at the end of your timber if you've got a long length to feed onto the bandsaw table, and you can stop in the middle of the cut and move it round to the outfeed side to take the weight as you feed your piece right through. Bandsaw tables, typically on small models like this, are very small in size, and it's difficult to balance heavy timbers on there. Always make sure that you don't start your bandsaw without some tension in the blade. If you start it with a very loose blade, the blade can slip off, certainly could break, possibly could damage something else, and broken end may even fly out of the opening here and cause some damage to yourself. And to remind me to always tension the blade, I make sure that when I've finished with the bandsaw, I take the tension off and I wrap the mains cord over the tensioner. Then when I go to use the bandsaw again, that always reminds me, tension the blade. One of the lovely things about small bandsaws is once you get used to how they work, get them tuned nicely, you can use them to make bigger bandsaws, like I'm doing here.